baby? We are right back into the action for another day of the week. Welcome to the Friday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. Oh, baby, we got a good show cooked up for you guys today. Unfortunately, Hell Week continues around here on my worst stretch of 2023 here. Another losing day yesterday, 2-3 yesterday, and I would like to say some bad beats in here. Really, Ottawa Senators? Can't win in regulation. You blow a 3-goal lead in the third period. You outshoot the Flyers by 35 shots. Can't win in regulation. My God. I'm stunned. Sting a lot more when you're on a bit of a losing streak too. So yeah, hopefully you hope to change our fortune here and finish the week out strong here. So we're all over the map today. Final Four, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. Talking a little bit of everything here today, and here to help me do it and hopefully bring us some good fortune is our guy, senior editor over at BetSided, Iain MacMillan. We missed Ian yesterday. Now we had Gilles Gallant step in. And I don't know if you caught the show yesterday, Ian, but he didn't have any nice things to say about you. He called you about every name in the book. It was actually, it got uncomfortable there at one point. And a bit offensive as well. I don't know if you caught the show or if you have a response to Gilles.
No, I don't have a response to Gilles. Get a haircut.
Get a haircut. There you go. Short and sweet for me in here. Okay. So a lot to get into. So the way we're going to do today's show, we're going to do our picks for tonight's games first. Then we'll do a bit of a Final Four preview after that. So let's get right into tonight's action, and we're going to start things off in beautiful San Diego. The Colorado Rockies in town, and nice little spot here, I think. I'm going to take the Rockies to go over their first 5-inning team total of 1.5 runs. That one is coming in at even money. So check this out. Nick Martinez on the bump here for the Padres, and this guy is not meant to be a starter. He split time between the rotation and out of the bullpen last season. As a starter, he was awful. He had a 4.30 ERA with a brutal 5.16 FIP. 10 starts. His numbers got slightly worse at home, actually, as well, and he produced much better numbers as a reliever. And he does not have a good history versus the Rockies. The Rockies hitters have absolutely owned him. In 68 combined at-bats, they have an OPS over 1,000. CJ Cron and Charlie Blackmon have actually been quite strong against him. And an incredible start for the Rockies offense yesterday. Small sample size, I know, but they're hot to start the season. 17 hits yesterday, resulting in 7 runs. I think the Rockies to score at least 2 in innings 1 through 5 versus Martinez and the Padres. All right, Ian, we're over to the ice. What are we looking at?
Yeah, we're going to start the show off with a little money line underdog alert. There we go, Tito. Yes, I like the Buffalo Sabres to upset the New York Rangers at home tonight. Plus 125. Oh my.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, let's get into it. This might be a little bit of a surprising pick here, but I don't think the Rangers have actually played as well as their recent record indicates. If you look at some analytics like Fenwick percentage, 22nd in the NHL over their last 10 games, well below the Sabres who come in at 14th. Also 21st in expected goals for. Now, the reason why they've managed to win games over the stretch is because Igor Shesterkin has played the best hockey that he's played all season, as a .932 save percentage in the month of March. But no Igor Shesterkin tonight. He played against the Devils last night, so probably Yaroslav Halak will likely get the start for them tonight, and he's obviously no Igor Shesterkin. In terms of the Sabres here, they are starting. They are giving a fella by the name of Devin Levi his first career NHL start. Now, you might think automatically to fade the Sabres because the goalie is making his first career start. I don't think that's the case tonight. Actually, I kind of want to bet on the Sabres because of this guy. This guy is one of the hottest goaltender prospects in the NHL. He just wrapped up his career with Northeastern. Last year for Northeastern, he had a .952 save percentage. This year, at a .933 save percentage. He crushed it for Team Canada in the World Juniors a couple years ago in 2019. I like this guy. I think he's going to be a
Yes.
good goaltender in the NHL. I'm going to back him tonight with the Sabres at home, plus 125 on the money line.
Yeah, hopefully Levi's success from the 2019 World Juniors carries over to tonight's game against the Rangers. And Ian brought up Igor Shesterkin. I happen to have a stack of sports cards here at the very top. Who has happened to be on top? Igor Shesterkin. Upper deck, Ian, I will sell this card to you for $500. We'll negotiate after the show today. Okay, over to the NBA. It is the game that everybody is talking about. It is the game that everyone has planned their week around. Of course, I'm talking about the Pacers and Houston to take on the Snot Rockets. Gigantic game here, and I'm going to take the Rockets to go under their team total. Sitting there at 116.5. So check this out. Some surprising numbers here. It's not surprising at all to hear that the Houston Rockets, the Snot Rockets, suck at shooting the three-pointer. Last 10 games, they are dead last in three-point percentage. Guess who's number one? An opponent three-point percentage. Surprise, surprise, it is the Detroit Pistons. Also ranking 5th in opponent EFG in this span. The Snot Rockets have topped this number just once in their last 11 games, and in just 4 of their last 22 overall. They're ranked 29th in points per game at home at 110.2. And way too many empty possessions here for the Snot Rockets. 29th in turnover percentage over the last 10 games. Some very sloppy basketball. Houston under 116.5. Back to the ice. Ian, what's next?
Yeah, so let's keep it rolling with another under bet. I'm going to go Red Wings Jets under 6 at minus 105 here. And what's a pretty important game here for the Winnipeg Jets. But the Jets lately have been an under bettor's dream. Over their last 10 games, they're 4th in expected goals against. So they're playing great in their own end. But they're also dead last in shooting percentage. They're scoring on only 6.62% of their shots on goal. That is not good. And as a result, their average combined goals, both for and against, in their games over that stretch is just 4.85, well below the set total for tonight's game against Detroit. And speaking of Detroit, they've had some offensive struggles of their own. Over that same stretch of 10 games, the Red Wings ranked 23rd in both expected goals for and shooting percentage. I think all signs point to an under tonight between the Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets. Under 6.
All right, next up, what might look like the trap of the night to some bettors, but my advice is don't get trapped into thinking it's a trap. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets plus 9.5. They're in Phoenix taking on the Suns here. So we're getting this at a great number for a couple of reasons. Nuggets in the second game of a back-to-back, and maybe due to some Kevin Durant hype as well. But most notably, Nikola Jokic listed as questionable. Now, we sat last night. Everything pointed to him sitting simply because it was the first game of a back-to-back. I would expect him to be back playing tonight, and it is worth the risk here, getting the Nuggets at this number. So you dig into the stats, the Nuggets have been better almost everywhere. Big gap in EFG percentage, getting to the free throw line more. They're defending the three better, just to name a few. Will the Suns' ice-cold shooting continue? I know Kevin Durant is back, but he can only do so much as he works his way back into action. Last 10 games, the Suns are 25th in EFG percentage, 25th in three-point shooting percentage as well. And you got to wonder, is that dirty defense going to cost the Suns? They're allowing a lot of free throw attempts, a lot of freebies. Easily dead last in the NBA and opponent free throw attempt rate. Going to take a little bit of a risk here. Great number on the Nuggets, plus 9.5. Yeah, baby. If you're on YouTube right now, you guys know the drill. If you like the show, let me know by hitting the like button. Simple as that. You can also hop into the comments section. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know about some bets for tonight. Final Four. Masters is coming up next week. Yeah, so give your favorite bets a bit of a shout and let us know why you like them. And if you are looking to place some bets, I highly recommend placing them over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about the king of sportsbooks. It's never been easier to bet with confidence. That's because the king of sportsbooks is giving you a can't-miss first bet offer with up to $1,000 paid back in bonus bets. Sign up with BetMGM using the promo code VIBonus and get a first bet offer up to $1,000 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win. That's VI bonus, all one word, no spaces, for a first bet offer of $1,000 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win. Just use that code VI bonus. Visit betmgm.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Offer is for new customers only. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right, let's hop right back into the action here. Final Four kicks off tomorrow. The March Madness tournament really winding down here. So 2 games, we got 3 bets. Ian, you're hitting leadoff. What's your first bet for the Final Four?
First bet is in the first game chronologically. It's FAU Florida Atlantic against San Diego State, and I've bet against San Diego State every round of this tournament. I'm 0-4, but it's got to hit at some point, right? Give me Florida Atlantic +2 against the Aztecs. Listen, San Diego State's bad shooting has to catch up to them at some point. They enter the Final Four ranking 223rd in effective field goal percentage. At some point, that's going to come back to haunt them. They can't just keep relying on their defense, especially because a hole in their defense is the mid-range. If teams are willing to shoot mid-range jumpers against them and they can hit those shots, they can beat this San Diego State team. That's what Florida Atlantic needs to do. That's what Florida Atlantic can do. I hope that they don't just follow Alabama's game plan, which was just to throw up a million three-point shots and hope for the best. And the Owls are just a more well-rounded team, better offensively, comparable defensively. They can rebound. They can do it all. I still think they're being undervalued as a Conference USA team, despite Conference USA potentially being the best college basketball conference in the country. They won the CBI. They were the 2 finalists in the NIT. And if FAU wins this tournament, they did a complete sweep of the tournaments. Don't underestimate FAU. They've proven their worth. The Owls, whoop whoop, will at least cover +2 against the Aztecs.
Woo, woo. All right, my best bet for this game has a total of 131.5. I'm going to keep riding the San Diego State under train. Give me the under on 131.5 here. So San Diego State elite 3-point defense. We know the Owls like to make it rain from deep, but that might not be a possibility versus a San Diego State team that ranks 2nd in opponent 3-point percentage. Get up on those shooters. FAU, on the defensive side at least, specializes on limiting the 2-point shot. They rank 11th in the nation in opponent 2-point shot percentage. Now, San Diego State, they rank 239th 2-point shot percentage. They could have a really hard time scoring in this one. Both teams also strong at keeping opponents off the free throw line. So hopefully not too many freebies in this one. And rock bottom scoring in Aztecs games. They're now up to 12 straight unders. Average combined score of just 121.8. In those 12 games, they've held 3 of 4 opponents in the tournament to under 58 points so far. Give me under 131.5 between FAU and San Diego State. All right, Ian, what do you like for the other game?
I have been riding UConn for a long time. I recommended betting them before the tournament started. I'm holding a 25-1 UConn ticket, so I'm going to be riding them once again in this game. Give me UConn, the Huskies, -5.5 against producer Tito's Miami Hurricanes. He is rooting for an all-South Florida final. I don't think we're going to get it, though. I think UConn's going to upset that because just like San Diego State, their bad shooting is going to catch up to them. Miami's bad defense is going to catch up to them, ranking 198th in defensive efficiency. And we're also going to see some regression from their shooting. They've been shooting the lights out, and it's very difficult to do that for this many games in a row. Over their last 3 games, their effective field goal percentage is 3.9% higher than their season average, and now they're taking on one of the best defenses in the country in UConn. A Huskies team that ranks 8th in opponent effective field goal percentage and 12th in defensive efficiency. And UConn, by far the best team left in the tournament. There's a reason why they are the odds-on favorite to win it all. They can do it all. They can shoot. They can play defense. They're the 2nd best rebounding team in the country. The Huskies are going to wipe the floor with the Hurricanes. You heard it here first. Give me UConn -5.5.
No, not happy about that one. Final Four. My God, what a time we are coming up on here. Baseball season just started. Final Four. The Masters next week. The NFL Draft not far off. WrestleMania for some of us. A big UFC pay-per-view. My God, NHL and NBA playoffs right around the corner. We're going to be busy, and it's a good time to be in the sports betting business. Let me tell you guys a little bit about the Vegas Insider app. It gives you all the major sports betting odds at your fingertips, along with picks and expert breakdowns. You can shop for the best odds, find props, features, and plenty more with the app. Download the Vegas Insider app on Apple or Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Indeed. So, Ian, I want to talk to you about the idea of a psychological bad beat. So, now there's a typical type of bad beat like I had yesterday with the Ottawa Senators. They outshot a team by 35. They only allowed 11 shots. They were up by 3 goals at home in the third period. Of course, I had them winning in 60. Flyers come back and tie it up. Then about a minute or two in overtime, the Sens win it. So I lost my bet. So there's that type of bad beat. You know, crazy stuff happens. A referee does something stupid. That's frustrating. But a more embarrassing type of bad beat possibly is a psychological bad beat. And I suffer from these quite often as well. And a really embarrassing one yesterday. So everyone knows my first bet of the baseball season, I took Patrick Corbin over 2.5 earned runs. Now I go out yesterday. I didn't catch the start of the game. I went out for a walk at the golf course by my house, and I had the alerts coming up on my phone. And hey, look at that. The Braves are up 3-0 in the second inning. First bet of the season cashes. I usually don't do this. I go on Twitter. I brag about it. This is awesome. Off to a good start this season. A sign of things to come. Nope. People remind me that only 2 of those runs were earned runs. So I lost the bet. So that one absolutely stung. And it kind of got me thinking, you know, we rely on technology quite a bit these days. And the worst type of bad beats maybe, and this happens in the NFL all the time too, and in the NHL. And I'm wondering if this ever happens to you. So you get the alert on your phone. A team scores a touchdown. You get the alert on your phone. The team scores a goal. But how often does it happen where a touchdown or a goal get disallowed? It goes to instant replay and it gets taken back. So you're living large mentally in your head. You're thinking, hey, we're up. We got a big lead here, or this is going to go over, or whatever the case might be. But then you open up the app 5 minutes later and you say, I thought they scored a touchdown. And you come to find out that they took it away. They took the goal away. So does this ever happen to you, Ian, the psychological bad beat?
It does happen. Sometimes it happens, and this happens more in golf more than anything else, is a glitch in the score app sometimes. I was on Keith Mitchell a couple weeks ago, and it showed that he got like an albatross on the second hole of the tournament, and I tweeted about it, and people got very angry at me to let me know that, no, he did not score an albatross. Come to find out, it was just a glitch in the score app. Just they put in the score wrong. So, yeah, I've suffered from that one when it comes to golf more than once.
Should go back to the days of newspapers. I remember when I used to play. I'm so old, Ian. When I first started playing fantasy sports, there was a guy in the league who would get a copy of the newspaper, go through the stats, and add them all up and send something out every week. I don't think this even would have been done over. It was all done manually. We weren't even doing it through email back then. So yeah, Major League Baseball opening day yesterday. I went 1-2. With my picks, so not happy about that, but I'm going to place 1,000 bets this season, so no cause for concern there. But removing the betting from the equation, very positive reviews on the rule changes so far. We've seen them go into effect in games that actually count. The games yesterday, MLB games, were an average of 29 minutes shorter compared to last season. Now, there were a couple games that went over 3 hours, but those were all games that had a lot of scoring and a lot of offense, a lot of action. Speaking of action, stolen base success rate, 91% yesterday. Now, we're only talking with a small sample size, but that stolen base success rate is usually around 75%. So we might see that number come down a little bit, but action! This is what people want. And I got to say, some people, when the pitch clock first came out at the start of spring training, they were against it. It takes away the purity of the game. If you still have an opinion that you don't like the pitch clock or any of these rules, I think you're a moron. Straight up. So, Ian, did you watch any baseball yesterday? And are you loving the new rules?
Yeah, I do love the new rules. Blue Jays obviously played in a roller coaster of a game yesterday. The new rules, though, and I think I've said this on the show before, I don't want the pitch clock implemented when I'm there, because when I'm at a live baseball game, I want it to last as long as possible so I can drink as many beers as possible. And the pitch clock's really going to cut into my beer drinking time at live baseball events. So I guess I'm just going to have to hope for high scoring, maybe some extra inning games when I go. But yeah, other than that, pitch clock was great. I'm trying to figure out if there's an angle for betting for the increased rate of steals. Should we be betting on like over player props for steals for guys who are known for stealing bases? Is there some value there now? I don't know. I still need to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't like doing hitting props in baseball, especially total bases, how they don't factor walks into that. I do think it is a bit of a scam because you can bet Mike Trout over 2.5 total bases and he can get walked in 2 of his 4 at-bats. Then he gets a single another at-bat, then he flies out the other. So yeah, stolen base is a little bit different because obviously guy can get walked and steal a base. But yeah, there's with these things, these rule changes, we see them in sports all the time, whether it be rule changes or when there was no fans in attendance for NFL games, so totals went up. We often have a small little window where we can take advantage. And who knows? Like a one-day sample size is way too short, but maybe something we can take advantage of if you really pay attention. All the know-it-alls will splash it out there on Twitter, what's going on in the sports books. We'll catch up to it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing here in baseball so far. We're 1 game in. Okay, NHL futures here. Let's take a look at the Stanley Cup futures odds board here. We have the top 8 contenders on the board. Of course, the Boston Bruins just flying this season. They haven't really slowed down. You can kind of nitpick their analytics, sure. They got Ullmark and net. Lights out. The defending champion, Avalanche. I don't think they're going to repeat. I think they're very overvalued here. The Hurricanes, who I believe Ian maybe last week said they were the best team in hockey. The Toronto Maple Leafs, 9-1. Talk about a waste of money. Are you out of your mind if you're taking Maple Leafs at that price? The Devils, kind of an upstart team, maybe a year too early. I could see them they're a dangerous team. No one's going to want to play the Devils. Turkin, last season in the playoffs, very sketchy. I don't know about that. The Oilers, are the goaltending issues going to haunt them again in the playoffs? And I haven't been overly impressed with the Las Vegas Golden Knights here lately. So, Ian, the same question I usually put to you. If I gave you $1,000 and said you need to put it on a team to win the Stanley Cup, who are you taking?
Yeah, there's a team I actually bet on last night. I think just forget about the Eastern Conference teams, unless you're a fan of one of those teams. And by the way, Joe, I know you're just trying to troll me with that Maple Leafs comment, so I'm just going to let that slide right off me.
It's fact.
So I'm going to
Penguins have won 5 Stanley Cups since the Leafs have won 1. 5-time Stanley Cup champions.
Fine.
Come on now.
That's not going to help them this year.
That experience could absolutely help.
Let's focus on the Western Conference here.
Okay.
And I got a team that I bet on last night, and specifically BetMGM actually has great odds on them compared to other books. A lot of other books I'm looking at, I'm finding a lot of 20-1, 21-1. BetMGM has them at 25-1, and that's the Los Angeles Kings. I think they're being extremely undervalued in this spot. This is a team that can still win their division. If things break their way, I think they're only 3 points back from the Golden Knights in the Pacific. If things break their way, you're getting 25-1 odds on a division winner, which is kind of crazy. This is a team that all season has performed, has exceeded people's expectations. I liked them a lot last year, but this year they're getting better shooting and better goaltending, which those were their 2 weaknesses last year, especially as of late. This Kings team has been very good, especially very good at home. I don't have their home record right in front of me right now, but very, very one of the better home records in the NHL, which is going to be huge in the playoffs as I try to filibuster to bring up their home record. 25-9-4. A very solid home record. Best home record in the Western Conference. So 25-1, I think that's the best bet to place on the board today.
Yeah, hockey's different. It's like baseball in the sense that it's not always the best team on paper that goes on to win the Stanley Cup. Like, I'm guessing it's not rare that the best team in the regular season doesn't go on to win the Stanley Cup. Like, the Boston Bruins haven't really faced adversity all season. If they go into a series where they fall down 2-1, maybe they get off to a bad start, maybe a key player gets injured or something. Like, really? The Bruins at plus 380? Not a bet I'm interested in making. But, yeah, the Kings are probably undervalued. I still do worry about their goaltending a little bit. But, hey, I would love to see, of course, my Penguins are always going to be first in my heart. And they're at 40-1. Would I be shocked if they went on a run? They've been snake bitten in the playoffs the past couple of years. Saw them blow that 3-1 lead. They had their Zamboni driver starting in net against the Rangers there. But, yeah, you guys know who the CTP sweetheart is. The New Jersey Devils. I'd love to see them make a run here as well.
Yeah,
okay,
so
guys,
just to add, just really quick, Joe, just to add to your point, one last thing Tito put in the chat here, and he's right there. You mentioned the top seed, the best regular season team doesn't do well in the playoffs historically in the NHL. There's actually the President's Trophy curse, and I just looked it up while you were talking, Joe. The best team in the regular season hasn't even made the Stanley Cup final since 2012-2013. Now, they did win the Stanley Cup final that year as the Chicago Blackhawks. And no team has made even the conference finals since 2014-2015 when the Rangers lost in the conference final. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The past 7 President's Trophy winners have all lost in either the first or second round of the NHL playoffs. So don't go and betting on the Bruins as massive favorites just because they've won the President's Trophy. If history's any indication, they're going to get upset potentially in the second round of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You know what? I would take that. I felt so. I poke fun at the Maple Leafs, but I did find myself rooting for them last time they were in a series against the Boston Bruins, and they have a 3-1 lead in the series, I believe. And
no, the last time they played the Boston Bruins was when it was Game 7, and they had a 4-1 lead with like 10 minutes left in the game. Blew the 4-1 lead, went to overtime, lost in overtime.
That right there is a bad beat. Okay, so I mentioned earlier in the program just how busy of a time it is in the sports world over the next week. Just an avalanche of stuff going on. We put up a poll on the Vegas Insider Twitter feed asking you guys what you're most excited about. The new MLB season, the Final Four tomorrow, Masters gets going Thursday. Of course, WrestleMania. Threw that in there. It's still real to some of us, damn it. But I would say, I'm not the biggest college basketball fan. I do love watching March Madness. Same thing goes for the Masters. But, I'm a big baseball guy. So the new season with the new rules, with the Blue Jays, a lot of optimism there. 100% Major League Baseball season. Ian, I'm guessing it's the Masters for you. That must be on your Mount Rushmore of sports events.
No, I'm most excited for WrestleMania. I think it's Rey Mysterio's year. The Masters. Might be my most anticipated sporting event of the entire year. I'm very excited. Although I am concerned Scotty Scheffler might just win by 5 strokes again.
I hope not. The Masters on Sunday. Incredible. Ian will be back with us on Monday, of course, and he's going to be breaking down some type of Masters betting-related content. We'll let him figure that out over the weekend. Let me tell you guys a little bit about today's Handicapper Heat Check, presented by VegasInsider.com. Your home for the best expert picks in the business since 1997. MLB profits leader last season, Reno Johnny. It's off to a good start, went 3-0 yesterday on opening day. Scott Rickenbach hit 4 straight NBA winners, and Bruce Marshall had an 8-3 all-sports record yesterday. Visit VegasInsider.com/picks for today's top expert picks. That's your handicapper Heat Check. And stay hot, betters. Can't talk. Good thing we're winding right down here. Ian, did you catch the season premiere of Succession?
I did.
You did? What did you think?
Very good. Very solid start. Very excited for the rest of the season.
The Disgusting Brothers. Now, what do you think this is lining up to happen? What is your prediction here? Is the father going to die, you think, before the season wraps up, potentially? It seems like that's what they might be building up to a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to die in one of the last couple episodes. I think Tom Wamsgamp's going to take over.
Okay. Yeah, you got to love Tom. He's got a lot going on there. And cousin Greg, the Disgusting Brothers. Good crack up that was. Yeah, so I can't wait for episode 2. I would say that is, like we talked about, if they stick the landing, they can go down as one of the best shows ever. Ending a bit early, 4 seasons as we talked about, but better than going on for 2 or 3 seasons too long like most shows do. So what's going on in New York City this weekend? You going to catch a matinee tomorrow or what?
I might actually go to a show tomorrow. Might go to Phantom of the Opera. It's closing in a few weeks, Joe, so you got to get down here and go see Phantom of the Opera. Then I got a race on Sunday, so I got a jam-packed weekend. Looking forward to it.
What type of race? Like a hot dog eating type of deal, or?
No, it's a 4-mile race, so a short one, but it's a race.
Oh, actually running. Okay.
Yes, running. Yes. Thank you.
Well, we did talk about your lack of balance around here, so you're getting back to some running. So I'm happy to see that. The evolving fitness of Iain MacMillan. Gotta love that.
Yes, the pendulum's swinging back the other direction now. I haven't drank all week. It's swinging back the other way.
On any PEDs or?
I wish. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about starting steroids. Got to talk to my doctor about that, but see if I can get some legal steroids. I think that'd be kind of fun.
TRT potentially. Go, Ian. Peak performance around here, chasing that paper. So, anything else you got going on out there that chasing that paper viewers can check out?
I got some player props for the Final Four as well. You can check out the Bacon Bets podcast where I give out my player props. I got 2 for each game, and that's just about it. You can check out all my written work today over on Fansided.
There you go. Checking out on Twitter as well. Make sure you check me out on Twitter. Make sure you check VegasInsider out on Twitter as well. So that does it for today. Hopefully we'll end the week on a strong note, better than the previous days this week, at least. So we thank Ian for joining us. We thank producer Tito for producing. We thank you, dear viewer, for checking us out. Best of luck with your bets tonight and this weekend, unless, of course, you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo! Yeah! Yeah!